Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Wonder of Anime podcast. I'm your host, Lisa. I am a multimedia anime content creator, and my work spans across my blog, my YouTube channel, and of course, this podcast. This week, I'm so excited. I am joined by somebody that we should have been collabed, but it was too much going on. But we're here now, and that is what matters. So I am joined by the incredible Simone, known online as by Simone Malcolm. Simone is a multi-hyphenate creative who writes, cosplays, and streams, an animanga enthusiast who loves to nerd out over music, gaming, fashion, and pop culture. Simone, hi, welcome to the show.
Hi! Finally.
In my defense, I was on hiatus for a year.
Oh, I know.
To anybody that no, but this collab should have been happened because we're out here. But that's why we're here now.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to have you here. And we already been keying it up for like 20 minutes. So we've already gotten into it. But for people who are unfamiliar, I don't know how, because you're famous. I saw all them tweets about you today.
Oh, my God.
The fame allegations. But for those who are not familiar with what you do online, tell us a little bit about that.
I feel like I'm just here. I'm a content creator, but I like to say that I am a creative that makes content. There is a difference.
Yes.
But I'm mainly on like Twitter, but I just give like my thoughts and opinions on anime, manga. I cosplay. I also am a streamer now. This year in April will make it 1 year that I've been streaming, which is insane. And I'm a variety streamer, so I play games, video games. Right now I'm obsessed with Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm not into D&D at all, but yet here I am. Mainly RPGs. I also do like a music stream every Monday, but that's been on a hiatus a little bit because we done all of the anime verses. So what's next? So that's what I'm doing. I'm also currently on a podcast, Show Go High, I am one of the members of the Elite 7. So, and we have spaces every other Friday where we talk about anime, manga, wrestling, a whole bunch of other stuff because there's so many of us. So, yeah.
And of course I am a fan. I think that's so important too, because I feel like a lot of people in the anime space who like, this gonna sound shady, but I'm not trying to be shady, but I feel like a lot of people make anime like their one and only personality to kind of like fit in with other people, and it really shows when you're not like as well rounded and you don't have like other interests that shine through. So that's one of the reasons I love like your streams. I be pulling up, but I be in a silent minority.
No, that's fine.
I have
workers.
I be like, because sometimes too, if I put it on my TV, I can't like comment. Right. But I did want to dive into you and streaming a little bit, because I feel like online you have described yourself in the past as like shy, and you like really push through to stream. So you can tell us a little bit about that journey, because I find it so admirable. Like, I mean, I love talking. I've been talking for like ever. And that was like, I had literally started a podcast because I was like, I want to be on the radio. I don't know how to do that. But so for me, talking is like second nature. But it's so funny because like you tweet and then you're like, I was a little bit shy to stream. And I'm like, how, girl? You just be tweeting like crazy. So how did that come about where you decided to start like push past your comfort zone and start streaming?
Well, I like to talk, but like I do get very nervous and like shy because like I stumble over my words. I say like 100 times. I always want to make sure that my thoughts is like all over the place in my head, and I want to always make sure that I'm coming across like very clear and concise. So I'm always like second guessing that. So I do get like a little shy, and getting into the Annie Twitter space, like there were a lot of people that write like 6-page dissertations, no shade, over like anime and all this other stuff about like some shows, and I'm like, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? I like a good conversation now and then, but like I feel like, and I've said this many times on Twitter, that I don't feel as though you need to always analyze the art that you're consuming, especially like anime, like it's there's animes out there that don't really call for that, right? Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with it. Does that make it any less good or anything like that? Because people also think that that makes it not good. But like, I got very nervous because there's a lot of like intellectual people in the space, like, and I was like, I'm just here to like talk about anime and like vibes, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I was like, oh, I'm shy. Like, I don't know, like if what I'm saying is like correct or right, but it's my opinion. And can I curse?
Yeah, I love when people ask curse ahead. I got that explicit rating on the podcast.
I gotta make sure. I just be like, fuck it. Like, this is my opinion, and you know, I'm happy to give more thoughts on it if you have questions. But I just decided to stream because like I have a lot of games and I just don't play them. Like, they just collect dust. So I was like, well, why not like stream? And what made it so fun is that Fi was thinking about doing the same thing. So like, we decided to like stream, like come on Twitch, like kind of at the same time. And it just so happens at that same time, like two of our other like close friends, they were streaming before us. Courtney and none of my friends watch anime, One Punch Shammy, like they were streaming probably in January. And then we was like, well, we're thinking about doing the same thing. They're like, yeah, like y'all should do it this, that, and third. And then Chris came along, and now we're this whole like Corner 5 like entity now, which is kind of like insane. Like, I just never thought that I would enjoy doing this as much as I do. Again, like I did this just to get through like my backlog of games and to continue furthering my love for gaming. And you know, I get to show different parts of myself because I'm like, everyone games, so like what else can I do? So like I did like the music stream. Well, my first stream was a music stream, and I didn't think like it got so like such the reception that it did. Courtney was texting me on the side and was like, oh girl, you hit goal with this. You gotta keep doing stuff like this. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Anime Versus became a thing. So yeah, I just can't believe it. Like how much love I've gotten like the first year of like me streaming, me and Fi, and all of us, like all 5 of us. It's kind of like insane. And that people be like, wow, you inspire us. Like, and I'm just like, I'm just regular friends. Like like I'm just here. I'm just doing what I enjoy doing, and I just throw ideas to the wall. And if it sticks, it sticks. If not, then fuck it. You know. So
listen, first of all, I love the first part of what you were saying about like feeling like, you know, you just want to talk about anime without like getting deep or analytical. And I think that like sometimes the space can be so like, with anything that people want to talk about, like it's either you have to be an expert, number one, know everything, or you're like this newbie who doesn't know anything and you're like learning along the way, and like there's no room for people in the middle who just like, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and write a dissertation for every single anime that I watch. Like sometimes I just want to comment on things and be like, yo, that shit was crazy, and then that's that. And I feel like I love that you just push through and talk about it, because I think, and this is something more so in the culture that we live in right now, where every social media app wants you to be a content creator. So everybody feels like they need to approach every single hobby, every single interest as a content creator, and it loses the fun of it. Yeah. And I think that's why, going back to your streams, 5 streams, like they're such a hit because you're just being yourself. You're not trying to be a content creator. You're not trying to like put on an act about you gaming or you loving music. Like these are just different parts of your personality, your hobbies, and it just shines through. And that's why it's a hit, friend, because like you being in the stream, I feel like it's the same as you being in the space, you being on Twitter, on the tweets, and like people pick up on that. Yeah. Like it's definitely like, I'm newer into watching streams because I was like, well, I want to watch people. But then when it's people that you like and you vibe with and you're just enjoying what they're talking about and the commentary, it's a lot of fun. So I definitely think that's a big reason why your streams have been so successful and so fun. And people like the timeline be blowing up when you're streaming, the chat in the stream be chatting because it's people just having fun and vibing. Right. And I think it doesn't have to be so complicated.
Yeah, and I love when people be like, they just like that I could like, they could chill, they could just like talk and like, or lurk, and it's a safe space. And that's all I want, like for people to like have fun, I like to curate the vibes a little bit. So I try at least. So
and you do good. And I feel like streaming too, like until people have done it, like you don't realize how hard it is to actually stream. And like not everyone, and this is shade towards myself, not everyone can play and talk. Like I did a gaming stream and I was like, I had to stop because I was like, I can't talk and game at the same time. Like I can't focus. I can't multitask. I was like, how do people be doing this? And you be playing Baldur's Gate, which
and I gotta pay attention, but sometimes I don't because I'm
because you chat. But it's so fun and entertaining because you like. I'd be like, hold on, I gotta read this dialogue, and this is taking so long. Just wouldn't be.
I just be like, literally happened. I think was it Tuesday? So like, I was doing something, and my friend Junior, like, he's in the Discord. Shout out to Five with this man in the chair because she started this movement of having your friends come in who played these games and like help you and guide you. So he was in there. We were playing together, and we had to do some puzzle. So I had clicked on the puzzle, and it was explaining things. And I'm over here looking at the chat, and then Junior's like, "Did you understand what you have to do?" And I said, "No, I wasn't paying attention." So I had to click on it again. I said, "Let me
like, get out of here. I'm not doing this again."
It happens sometimes. Or like I'm talking to him and I'm looking at the chat, and then like dialogue's going on, and I was like, "Oh, I have to make a decision." And I was like, "Oh shit, let me read this again." Like to myself, because I'm just like, "Oh shit, I was not paying fully attention." It's a lot. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, it's a lot of multitasking and going back and forth, but I
make
do
it fun.
I try to get locked in when it comes to like, at least with Baldur's Gate, it's turn based, so I don't go like running right into it. But like other games that I play where I have to like, I'm fighting a boss, I gotta focus. I'll be like, hold on 1 second.
Time locked in.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm like, hold on, y'all. I got beat this man before you see me watch me beat him like twice or 3 times. Like we're trying to get this done one shot, one try only. So yeah,
it's a lot, but I love it, and I'm excited for your streaming journey. And I also want to touch upon your cosplays because you've also been cosplaying. You be trying to play it off like, oh, this whole thing, me, and it's like the most fucking badass cosplay.
I used to say I was an occasional cosplayer because I only tried to cosplay at conventions. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, everyone was like, all right, drop that shit. Like, I was like, okay, fine. I was like, I guess I cosplay at home more. So I was like, I'm a cosplayer.
Yes, own it. And
I am. No, I own it now. Yes, absolutely.
What would you say is your favorite part about cosplaying?
Oh, wow. I guess like getting the outfits together. I enjoy that part. I love the cosplays that allow me to kind of like add a little bit of my own personality and style to it. So like Zoro, he doesn't have nose rings, but I was like, this fits, Tengen, I was like, come on, it's like, he's flashy, it's canon, he wears grills. Like, doing things like that makes it exciting for me. But yeah, styling it, I guess now I'm getting a little bit better with editing now with the photos and stuff like that. I'm kind of proud of myself. So I'm enjoying that as well. Thank you. And then just like when I think of ideas and things, right? So the last cosplay I did was Todoroki from My Hero. And I remember I was talking to my friend and I was like, oh shit, like I didn't even buy like, cause there's so much FX makeup out there and all that stuff. I was like, look at me getting into like FX stuff. Like I just never thought that would happen, but I was like, fuck, I'm gonna do the ice. And then I looked it up and I saw like I get like a little ice kit from this makeup brand, and I was like, bet. And, like little things like that I enjoy because I was like, oh, that takes it like, at least for me, like a step out of the box a little bit for like the character.
Yeah, it's like going out of your comfort zone, and I like that personal touch. I like, no shade to other people cosplaying, but anybody could buy a costume and put it on. I feel like, I don't know, I really like that personal touch. I really feel like it elevates people's cosplays, and it's really just like showing your personality. And I love specifically you, how like you'll have cosplays based on your current hairstyle, what you're doing, if you have the locks in, if you have box braids or whatever. Like that to me is also like an extra element of like, okay, I see you. Like it's just so cool. So I love that you've been getting into it more, and also like own it. Like you be like, oh, I love no, bitch, you cosplaying. You are a cosplayer. Say that with your chest.
Say it loud. Say it proud. Yes.
We don't. Yes. We don't do no little meek. No, you are a cosplayer, so I love it, and I'm excited to see the more. Have you ever thought of like doing a streaming cosplay?
So I just finished doing a tipathon on my stream, so that I could get like a new camera and all this stuff. And one of the incentives that I made, one of the goals I should say, was for me to be in a Spider-Man cosplay, because I am playing Spider-Man 2. So I just have to find one that fits me. I'm probably going to do like a Miles Morales one. So definitely going to do that. One of the other goals was a cosplay get ready with me. So I have to do that on stream. It's just me planning it out. So like, while I have my locks in, I'm going to do Choso next. So yes. I was like, I guess that will probably be like a good one to do on stream, because he requires makeup and all this other stuff. So yeah. And then I do have a sexy nurse ghetto cosplay. There's a reason for it. Like, if you've been reading the JJK manga, so I have to come in like nurse gear on stream. So yeah.
It's coming. That's it. It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah,
well, we're excited, and we'll be waiting to get into that.
Thank you.
But now we're gonna get into my favorite part of the show, which is the main part of the show, which is where you are an expert on an anime, and you are going to be. Expert. Yes, that I tell everybody, as soon as you sit in that chair, you are the expert. I don't care what no one says. To me, you're the expert. And today, we're going to be talking about Black Clover, which I always start off this section saying my history with the show, and I have none. I think I saw one episode, never, like, I don't even think I finished it. I just sometimes be clicking stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm not in the mood for this. Never gone back. I don't know anything about the show. I know people complain about certain things, which we'll get into, but that's it. I'm totally unknown in Black Clover, so I'm so glad that you had picked Black Clover, because I kind of love going in blind with things like this. So for those listening, I mean, and Black Clover is pretty big. I'm always a minority in people not knowing stuff, but what is Black Clover for those people who don't know?
Okay, so Black Clover is a manga by Yuki Tabata. It came out. Hold on, I got my notes. Hold on.
Yeah, get the notes.
Okay, so it was in Weekly Shonen Jump, 2015 February. It's currently not in Shonen Jump anymore. It just ended its run in August, but it's in Jump Giga, so it's not canceled for all the haters that was like, oh, it's canceled. No, today. It's not. It's still ongoing on like so with Jump Giga is not a weekly schedule like Shonen Jump. It's like, I think his is quarterly. So every 3 months or monthly, he comes out with a new chapter, which is good because that's more content. So more pages, more of the story. Okay. The anime did come out in 2017. And it revolves around a story of Asta, who is who's an orphan, essentially, born in the Clover Kingdom. And the Clover Kingdom, it's a world with magic, but Asta, for some reason, has none. And when I say everyone has magic, it's not like My Hero, where like, oh, like 20% of the population are quirkless. No. It doesn't matter if you're rich, you're poor. Don't matter. Everyone has some type of magic. It's just on the level of like strength, and he has zero zilts.
That's so sad.
It's so sad. But he has dreams of becoming the Wizard King, there is a regular king, but we don't care about him. Everyone loves the Wizard King, and that's what he aspires to be. So it's a story about him and how because I mean, it's a shonen, and let's be real, like, he's more than likely gonna be the Wizard King. So it's his journey on how he becomes the Wizard King and all of his trials and tribulations and all the enemies that he fights. It also, I mean, there is another character there who's his best friend, Yuno, and they have like a little rivalry going on. He has magic, obviously, and he exceeds and excels at it, and he's tall and handsome, and like Asta's short, and ugly and loud. But they have a very respectful friendship, even though like talk shit to him and all this other stuff. He still like respects them. They respect each other. So also has dreams of being the Wizard King. So there's that. But he's also an orphan. So they both grew up together in the orphanage. So yeah.
I feel like shonen is like they always gotta give the person like least likely the biggest dreams. Like they're not like, oh, you don't have magic in this kingdom, you can aspire to be the regular king. You can be a baker. No, it's like I want this goal that is so unachievable. Like I'm gonna be. They always do that.
They're also very classist in the Clover Kingdom. So obviously he is an orphan. So is Yuno. So like when they get into trying out to being in the Magic Knights, which is the first step to being like the Wizard King, you gotta be in the Magic Knights, which is I guess like the army, and then like you have to work your way up through the ranks to like vice captain and obviously captain, and then I think that's how you end up becoming a Wizard King. Like they'll choose from all the captains and all that stuff. They like the citizens of the Clover Kingdom, they always talk shit to the both of them. More so Asta, because he's not only poor, but you also have no magic. But they look down on like poor people because it's known that if you are from a poor like upbringing, your magic is not that strong. While if you were a royal, you're coming from like a nice lineage, your magic's automatically stronger, all that stuff. So he has to also jump through those hoops. He has to like convince people like, no, you gotta take me seriously. Like not only do I not have magic and I'm poor, but like I'm gonna show you.
Just so many poor, like, magicless, orphan.
Like, yeah, so like he's really getting it from. He's getting it out the mud. That's why I'm like, why y'all keep shitting on Black Clover? Like, don't y'all want someone to get like? Don't you want to read or hear a story about someone getting out the mud? Like,
it'd be too much. No, that's true, because people be like, oh, this is plot armor, of course they're gonna succeed if they're like already powerful, and then if they're starting from zero is a problem too. Like, damn, what y'all want?
What do y'all want? Like, he's starting from nothing. Like, please. I mean, obviously he does. So when you're to get into the Magic Knights, you can start testing, I think, at the age of 15. So while Yuno's showing a whole bunch of like progress in his magical capabilities, Asta decides to work on his physical strength, because he's just like, maybe if I work out, if I do this, my magic will come to me. And like even the people in the orphanage like kind of make fun of him, like
damn, y'all already orphans.
Like you're not getting no, because I guess you start showing like magic at least as a child, and that didn't work. But he kept going. He's like, no, it's gonna happen. And Yuno's like, all right, like whatever. So like
he just be going through it.
That's my son. Like he really be going through it. But a bad guy came into the village and tries to like steal something, and Yuno was trying to like beat his ass, and he failed. Asta steps in, as always, which is not the first time Asta steps in when someone fucks with Yuno and like, scares him and all this other stuff. So he steps in and he's getting his ass beat, and then magically a grimoire appears. And that his grimoire contains a devil. So there's devils in this story, and the devil yields anti-magic. So he was able to pull a sword out the book that yields anti-magic. So that's how he's able to defeat all these villains and all these foes, is the use of his swords, because he does get more than one throughout the story. And they all, he could disable their magic.
See, there's so much there.
So much to it. Like,
so how did you discover Black Clover?
Funny you say that. So when I've been watching anime since I was 6 years old. I'm in my 30s now. I have taken many of breaks. So I was slowly coming back into anime, I think in 2019. And I remember I was at work one day and I was hearing my friends talking about anime. They weren't my friends at the time, but I just heard people like talking about anime in the break room. So I decided to be like, what y'all talking about over here? And they were saying something, and I gave my 2 cents into it. And my friend goes, he said it jokingly though. He was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were into anime," and I was like, "Yes." He was like, "Oh, you like I didn't look the part," and I was like, "Whatever." He was like, "I'm joking." He's like, "But no, I didn't really know you were into anime." So like we were talking, and then he just kept telling me like recommendations. So at that time, Fire Force was like on and popping. Demon Slayer. So he every time I come to work, he'd be like, "You saw Demon Slayer yet? You seen Fire Force yet?" And I was like, "No, not yet." And he was like, "Let me tell you about Black Clover." And I was like, "What's that about?" And then he told me like the synopsis about it. And at that time, Black Clover been out for a little while, right? So I didn't know much about it, and he was telling me a little bit about it, and I was like, "Okay, this seems like it's interesting." So like one night before bed, I was like, "Yeah, let me go watch an anime." I was like, "Let me see," because I think I had started Fire Force and then I had started Demon Slayer, so I was like, "Well, let me see." I was like, "My friend hasn't steered me wrong yet, so let me start Black Clover," and I've been hooked ever since.
That's a good friend.
That's a good friend, because I didn't know. Like I was out of the anime sphere, so I was like, I don't know what's like hot and popping and all this other stuff anymore. I wasn't even on any Twitter like that. So, and I only had one friend that I would talk about anime with, but even then, like, she was more of a reader, but she was like not into the space as much either. So she was like, "Well, shit, I don't know what's going on as well." So she couldn't give me any recommendations. So I was happy that he was able to give me those recs. So I was like, all right. And I love Fire Force. So
listen, he did good. So you're watching Black Clover. You're enticed by the story. When did you know that like this is one of your favorites? Like when did you notice it was climbing up the charts for you in terms of like your top anime?
So I'll be honest, Black Clover's a bit of a slow burn, because I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna lie, like at first I was like, and I watch things, if it's a dub, I'm gonna watch it in English. So I was like, yeah, he's like kind of annoying, like his voice, like why is he yelling and all stuff? But I decided to push through, because when there's an anime that has a synopsis like that, the whole world has magic, he doesn't. I'm like, why? Just like with My Hero. Mm-hmm. Watch me become a quirkless person. Watch me become the world's greatest hero. I need to see that how. Like I'm sold from that. But it took me some time, like a couple episodes, to get into it. And I was like, but the more I kept watching, the more I was just like admiring Asta and like his strength and his positivity, how he's able to overcome like people talking negatively towards him about like obviously him being poor and having no magic, and like him just like working his way up to being like the savior of the Clover Kingdom. Like I was just like, wow, he's that guy. Like people be trying to sleep on him because he's annoying and loud, but I'm just like, his resolve and his strength is just, I love a good underdog story, and he's with like probably the worst squad in Clover Kingdom, the Black Bulls. They're a bunch of like ragtag misfits who like people are scared of them, no one takes them seriously, like
just going through
like, it. But they are such a good team. Like they all, like Asta helps everyone be the best version of themselves, and I think that's how I started like loving that anime. Like I do like the cast and its characters, they're colorful, it's funny, and Asta brings all of them together. Even like on their worst days, they all try to be like better, and they'd be like, well damn, what would Asta do? Like he definitely wouldn't sit down and allow this one thing to stop them, like stop him. Like he will continue, he'll try to find a way around it and keep going.
I love that. See, I think sometimes too you just kind of need to make it past like people are like, oh, this person's annoying, and it's like, it's okay to be annoying. Like, it's not a crime to be annoying. Like,
it's not. And I like magic stories, right? I love reading Harry Potter growing up, so I was sold on the story. It got like elves and devils and all this other stuff. Like, wow. I was like, all right, let's get into it. And it deals with like magic, sure.
It was a done deal.
It was a done deal.
So you obviously, we talked about Black Clover having kind of been out a while. The anime's been out a while, and it's still something that, like, I know the movies. Recently, there was some movies added to Netflix. People were hype about it. People waiting for it to come back. What do you think it is about Black Clover that makes it timeless? That people are still enjoying the story and waiting for more of it?
I think it's because, again, it's like an underdog story. Like, Asta, like, literally, I keep saying it, but, like, something pulls him back, like, has him 10 steps back from his goal. He's like, fuck it. I'm still gonna show y'all why I'm gonna be the Wizard King. And that's just it's a very motivating story. And again, like, the world is rich. That is my criticism, though. As much as I love Black Clover, I feel like the world could be even better and bigger because you have so many different types of, like, magic. You introduce dwarves, like, there's devils, angels, like, you know, there's so much more Tabata could go more in depth with, and he has, like, a lot of knowledge on, like, demonology and all this other stuff. But unfortunately, because it's funny, I talked about this in a space a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, he's been plagued down by, like, not having really good editors that, like, kind of see his vision, right? So I think he's on his, like, third editor. So it sucks. It impacts the story, right? Because who knows? If he was with someone that, like, saw it, believed in it, and was like, yeah, you could go a little bit dark. Yeah, get into your demonology bag. Yeah, do this. Like, who knows? It probably will be, like, a different story. It might be even more loved. But I do think, like, the cast of characters, like, people could relate and see themselves, especially in Asta, a lot. And, of course, it's a shonen, so they're, like, the fights are good. And you have, like, the specific tropes, right? You have, like, the sensei-type character, which is Yami, the captain of the Black Bulls, and he's, like, strong as shit. And he's funny and, like, disgusting in the worst way. Because all he do is, like, while everyone else is doing their job, he's over here, like, loafing around and, like, on the toilet. But, like, when it's time for him to get shit done, like, he gets it done. And he motivates his team, too. So, like, you know, I just feel like everyone can, like, relate to it a bit.
Yeah, I agree in the sense that, like, you know, people see these tropes, like, in anime and stuff, but I think anybody right now, you'd be like, name somebody who, like, they motivate you, they don't even know. Like, you just see them grinding, and you could think of somebody. Like, that character is a real person in people's lives, and seeing that is definitely motivational. And like I said, I haven't watched Black Clover. My husband watches Black Clover. So as you were talking, I was like, oh, yeah, I did see some parts. Can't tell you what, but I'm familiar. Yeah. But it is something that, like, like you said, it has those shonen elements, but I think we all just want somebody to root for. Yeah. And it like warms your heart to see them succeeding. You're like, oh, I love this. So with Black Clover, you know, we touched upon this a little bit before, that a lot of people think it's annoying, or Asta's annoying. A lot of people, oh, it's just another typical shonen. It's my hero with magic in a different sense. As a fan, as somebody who is familiar with it, what do you think is something about Black Clover that people are getting wrong? Whether it's the characters, whether it's the plot, or something else, that you, like, see these opinions and you're just like, you don't know what you talk about.
I see a lot of people, well, at least when I first came on Annie Twitter, I saw a lot of people comparing it to Naruto. I'm like, Kishimoto did not invent shonen. I'm sorry. Like, these are all just tropes, right? Because they're like, oh, Asta's just like Naruto, right? Like, you know, Naruto has.
God forbid you're an orphan.
Yeah, like
Naruto's the only orphan.
Right. Like, Naruto has the nine-tailed fox inside of him, and I'm like, but there's no devil inside of Asta. Like, it lives in his grimoire. Like, I don't like. Yes, Yuno is, like, a Sasuke clone. He can be, but, like, Sasuke is a clone of, like, Hiei. Like, if we're gonna get down to it, like, come on. Like, it's a trope. There's always gonna be a dark-haired brooding character that's gonna be, like, a rival of sorts. Like, it's not the same. Asta and Yuno's relationship is completely different than Naruto and Sasuke's. Like I said earlier, like, Asta and Yuno's is, like, rooted in respect. They still respect each other, even though they are rivals. Right? That they do push each other to be the best version of themselves while they try to get to their goal. So, incorrect. Like, they are not the same. It's nothing like Naruto. Like, I hate when people be like, oh, like, Tabata copy off of Kishimoto. No! Like, that's the thing that has me, like, rolling my eyes. Also, like, people say Asta's annoying, but I want people to actually give it a chance. I mean, a lot of people watch it in Japanese, and at one point I had to, like, watch it in Japanese because with the pandemic and everything like that, Funimation was not churning out the dubs as easy or quickly as possible. So I was like, I can't wait. So I decided to watch the new episodes of Japanese. I understand. Like, that voice is extra annoying in Japanese. But I implore people to still give it a chance because, like, if you could watch, no shade, Luffy and Naruto, they both have annoying voices. I'm sorry. Like, you can deal with Asta yelling a little bit. I think it just lets people, like, misinterpret him. Like, yes, he is annoying, but, like, he does grow up. He does get better. You know what I'm saying? And again, like, he's the glue that brings everybody together. So, like, stop it, man. Stop sleeping on him.
And it's okay to be annoying. Like, I'm sorry, okay. People are annoying. I'm annoying. Like, I'm pretty sure people be like, here she go on another clamp rabbit hole. Like, we all have annoying traits. Like, I just feel like above being annoying. Like, you probably like, annoying somebody.
Exactly. I'm like, he's 15. He's excited. Like, what do you want him to do? He's also very passionate, you know? Like,
it's the charm. It adds to the charm.
Like, it's really not that bad as everyone makes it seem like. It's like I said, there's criticisms to be had, yes, but I don't think it's as terrible. And I'm so happy like we've gotten over that arc of Black Clover, where like people were literally actively shitting on it in like 2020 and on, and they just like stopped not too long ago. I mean, they ramped it back up obviously with the cancellation of it in Weekly Shonen Jump. Like, people were saying like, oh, it's because it doesn't move no numbers and all this other stuff. And while that may be true, that's not the reason why it's not in Shonen Jump anymore. It's because Tabata was sick, his daughter was sick, his wife was sick. He had to take care of people, so he can't adhere to a weekly schedule when his family's sick. He's a family man first, so like he's not gonna do that. So that's why he's in Jump. So I just want everyone to stop.
This is a call out. Get it together.
Get it together.
So now, thinking in the terms of the Black Clover fandom, you're amongst your people, the people who understand you. Yeah. What is an opinion you have that's unpopular that other Black Clover fans wouldn't agree with you on?
Honestly, I don't know, actually, if I even, like, really have one. I don't know if I really actually like have one, honestly, because like Asta forms like a little bit of a harem in a sense. He's so oblivious.
Oh my god.
the women start to like love him, but I mean, I don't know, like, if he'll end up with anyone. If he does, I feel like he'll end up with Noelle. But I don't think that's, like, an unpopular opinion. There are people that want him to be with, like, Mimosa and all that stuff. And I'm like, the end game is Noelle and Asta. But, again, that's not, like, an unpopular opinion. Because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people that will agree with me on that. So, I don't know if I really, like, even have one, honestly.
It's fun. You know, not
everything. Like, one happy family, the fandom.
Y'all trying to deal with the haters.
Right. Exactly. So we just happy that people love the show like us. So we just be like, all right.
You're just under the united front.
Yes. Like, you like Black Clover too? Come in. You know, we got stacks in the back. You know, like that's the type of time that we're on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all agree that it's just like, it's a fun anime. It's nothing to like, you have to like overly think about. I mean, there's things that you can think about a little bit, right? The classism aspects and all that stuff. But like outside of that, it's just one big happy shonen like fights. Like, it's just fun. And there's nothing wrong with the anime that's like fun. And I think people fail to realize that at times. Like, you could just watch something and turn your brain off and it's okay.
Yes, it's okay to just let it go. Just
let it go. Just enjoy like the fight scenes. I will say though, like the anime, I think because it was like on a weekly schedule, like the animation could be like a bit better. If it does ever come back, I really hope it goes on a seasonal schedule, and because it's by studio, is it Periot?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, don't ask me. I can't pronounce nothing.
But it's from them. They do Bleach. They've done other projects as well, and it's like I like them as a studio because I mean the work they've been doing with 1,000 Year Blood War, amazing. So I'm like, if you just give them a seasonal like cores, I think it will be like beautiful with Black Clover. But yes, The fights are amazing. The plot is interesting to me, at least. And he, Tabata's been like in his bag a little bit in the manga. So, I mean, I know some people be like, it's like kind of 50-50 in the fandom a little bit. Me personally, though, I think he's been fine. He's been answering a little bit of questions that people have had, and going into that. But outside of that, I'm curious to see how he's going to end it, because it's also in its final arc as well, which makes me sad. But all good things must come to an end.
That is true. And speaking about end, as we're wrapping up with the
already,
listen, it goes by fast when you having fun. So when you think about Black Clover's legacy, especially now it's about to be over, in a little bit, what do you think it is? What do you think Black Clover is gonna impart on the culture?
Just not giving up ever. That's like one of its so you know how My Hero has like Go Beyond Plus Ultra, like Black Clover has one of those things. Yami always tells the Black Bulls like surpass your limits. And I think about that all the time. Yeah, like go deep, go beyond. You think that you're at this level and you're gonna stay there, and you come across something, you're like, oh, I can't do that, I can't beat that, and it's like, but you can. You just gotta surpass it. You gotta dig deep and find it. And Asta's saying is, my magic's never giving up, and he doesn't. So I just want to give
that.
Like that shit, like it just resonates with me. I mean, it's corny, right? It's cheesy, whatever.
The best
but
things
like,
are.
But exactly. But like that hits me more than like Go Beyond Plus Ultra, and I love My Hero.
Mm-hmm.
But like that makes me more emotional, and it makes me think of this scene in the anime where and I don't want to give too much away, but like Asta fights this powerful elf, and the elf, before it dies, imparts like a curse on his arms, and he needs his arms to obviously wield his heavy ass swords. And he goes back to the Clover Kingdom, back to the hideout, and a doctor sees him, and he's like, I can't reverse this type of magic. And everyone in Black Bull's like, oh my god, like we gotta figure out like how are we gonna like cure Asta. And Asta's like outside and it's dark, and he's talking to the moon, and he's in this cast wrapped up like this, and he's just like, because they were eavesdropping, so they were concerned because they thought he was crying, and he cries, but then he starts laughing, and he was like, nice try, like I'm gonna figure it out, like if I can't use my arms ever again, I'm gonna figure out if I could use my legs or something to like wield the sword, because I'm not giving up, and I'm gonna be the Wizard King. And I was like, that honestly made me fall in love with the anime the most, and I was just like, that's the legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to hear that, people need to see that. Yes, it's a fiction, but it's still applicable in like real life scenarios. Like, something may happen, but you shouldn't let that have your moment. I still believe in that. Have your moment, cry it out.
Mm-hmm.
But like, don't stay in that space for too long. Start thinking of like solutions, and start thinking about like how to like fight back against whatever the universe throws at you. And that's what Asta and the Black Bulls do the most. So, because you see other characters and it's like, it feels like it's easy for them because they grew up with royalty and all this other stuff. But the Black Bulls show you like, nah, you could also like get out the mud too, And they have a royal that's in their camp, Noelle. She's from royalty, but like her family treats her like shit because they think that she's the reason why their mom died, and she's very ostracized outside of her family. The black sheep, they were like, yeah, you go to the Black Bulls. Her own brother was like, you're not coming on my team. And at first she was like, I'm royalty, I'm this, I'm that. But Asta like humanizes her and makes her see like, yeah, you're royalty, but like there's a reason why you're here, And because, I mean, she also can't control her magic either. She wields powerful magic, but can't control it. So it's like,
what you doing?
Asta makes all of them better. Like, just be better people.
Yes, I love that. And I think
it's Asta. It's the legacy of Black Clover is the MC. Like, let's just be for real. Like,
And I think that the thing too of him being like, if I can't use my arms, I'll figure something else out. Like, that's such a valuable lesson too, because I think people feel like your path has to go exactly a certain way, and like there's so many ways to achieve one goal, and it may not look like what you intentionally had in mind. Like, I'm sure he got his arms back, because obviously he's not gonna be out here without his arms. But the point that you're like, okay, well, can't use my arms, about to figure something else out, like that's such a powerful thing to like, that drive, and like, okay, we gonna figure it out somewhere else. Like, there's other ways to accomplish this goal, and like what you said is so applicable to real life, because there's so many ways to get to one place, and it's all about like figuring out, okay, plan A didn't work, there's plan B, there's plan C, there's plan D.
It's perspective. So like, that's why I love it so much, because I'm like, damn, even if I'm down, I'm like, fuck it, like, what would Asta do? Like, he wouldn't let whatever's going on like stop him.
He would figure it out.
He'll figure it out. Exactly.
I love that.
He was like, nah, we're going to do this. We're going to push past our limits. Like, we're not going to give up. And I think that's a lesson that we all should have. We should all learn that. So
I agree.
And to be compassionate, because he's also not mean to these people who are mean back to him.
Right.
You know? Like, he's like, I'm just going to show you. I let my actions show you better than I can tell you. I mean, he says it, but like, he's gonna like, I'm gonna back it up. So
right. See, we loved it. Oh my god, I love how much you love Black Clover. Do you have any fun facts or something that people may be surprised to learn about the series that you want to end with?
I wish I had more, but I wish I had any. I don't really have any. Except
I feel like you knew a lot about the mangaka. I feel like a lot of people don't know that much information that you knew.
I just knew that he was into, like, he does his research, so he knows about demonology and all that stuff. That's just me watching, like, in-depth, like, analysis videos.
See, but a lot of people would have that. When you love something and you're like, let me find out. A lot of times, too, like, when you read manga, like, they'll be having the little notes and stuff, and you learn so much about them. I think that was Key's fun fact, too. She had a fact about Princess Hibana, and it was just something in the book, and she's like, a lot of people don't read the manga, so they don't know this, like, this actually part of her profile card. But you do know a lot. Like, when people start mentioning the mangaka and the manga's personal life, I was like, oh, you a fan.
I had to know when they were like so one, like, a, I guess, well-known, like, leaker was like, yeah, Black Clover's ending its run in Weekly Shonen Jump. I said, get the fuck out of here.
You was like, not on my watch.
Like, bro, what's the reason? Like, we're canceling it now? Like, of all the times? That's why when people say, again, like, it's the sales, I'm like, they would have been cut it if that was the case. They would have been cut it if that's the case. Like,
yeah. I think too, sales are so, I think a lot of people look at sales like American numbers, and it's also very different, like, in Japan. Like, it's not the same type of situation as it is here. But I'm so excited we had this conversation, because I love how much you love Black Clover, and this is exactly what I love, talking to people that are just as passionate as me. So as we're getting ready to go, is there anything that I don't know when this episode is going to come out, so maybe talk like 2 months ahead, but anything that people should be looking forward to with you, like, what should we be following? What should we be doing?
So I am gonna be on a pod, like, so me and Soul on Twitter, just call me Soul. This has been in the works for a while now. Like, before I got on Shogo, before streaming, before all of this shit. We have a podcast together called Diary of a Mad Black Nerd. And it's me and him just talking shit, geeking out over nerd shit. So we're gonna talk about anime, of course, but we're also gonna talk about music, comics, pop culture. We run the gamut. You know, we're both Capricorns. We call each other twins, so we really are like twins. It's kind of scary. Our birthdays are like 5 days apart, so it just makes sense that we just do a podcast together. So whenever this comes out, I'm sure we'll be out on all DSPs, Spotify, Apple Music.
Not just DSPs, throw it in big words for the people. Digital.
Hello.
DSPs.
DSPs. Hello. Exactly. Like, I know some things.
You know a lot.
still be streaming. So I'll be on Twitch. So twitch.tv by Simone Malcolm. By Simone Malcolm, all handles. TikTok, Twitter, IG. Hopefully I'll have a couple of cosplays out by then. But yeah, that's it. Just follow me on those social media platforms. Show Go High every other Friday on Twitter Spaces at 8:30 EST, 7:30 CST. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, I'm excited. I feel like I know Soul like through social media, but I love his commentary on stuff, and I love your pop culture commentary. And like I think you're really like tuned in. So I'll be excited to listen to that because I do love like pop culture. I listen to like 30 pop culture podcasts, so I love that it's gonna have those elements. But thank you so much for coming on my show. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
This was destined to be. And
I gotta do this again with like another anime.
We're gonna find something else. But thank you everyone who's listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching our beautiful faces, thanks so much for watching. And we will see you on the, well, I will see you. I don't know where Simone goes, but she's going to be somewhere else. But I will see you on the next episode. And be sure to leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Just join in on the conversation. Leave a review wherever on all DSPs. If they got reviews, you better leave one. Just type it in there. 5 stars, because this is the best podcast known to man. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Peace out.
Bye.